What if I told you that the city with 150,000 hotel rooms, the most in America, cannot fill them anymore? Not during the slow season, not on a random Tuesday, on weekends. Las Vegas posted 12 straight months of visitor declines in 2025. Occupancy dropped to 80%. Nearly 4 million fewer people showed up compared to the year before. And somehow things are getting worse. And what's happening here isn't random. It's the result of decisions Vegas has been making for years. Number 10. Vegas accidentally trained visitors to come for one thing only. There was a time when people booked a flight to Las Vegas just to be in Las Vegas. No specific show, no particular restaurant, just the energy of the city pulling them in for a long weekend of whatever happened next. That era is disappearing. Today, visitors fly in for a UFC fight, a residency concert, or a single sold-out dinner reservation, and then they leave. The city stopped being the destination. The event became the destination. Convention attendance held steady at nearly 6 million in 2025, and mega events like WrestleMania still packed arenas. But general leisure visitors, the ones who used to wander the Strip for 3 or 4 nights, dropped off a cliff. Vegas trained people to show up with a purpose and leave the moment it was fulfilled. That means shorter stays, fewer room nights, and lobbies that feel hollow between headliner weekends. And when the event ends, so does the crowd. But that's only the surface, because something else quietly vanished, and most visitors don't even realize it's gone. Number 9. The Strip lost its discovery factor. Part of what made Old Vegas magnetic was the feeling that anything could happen. You would wander into a lounge you had never heard of, catch a late-night comedy show on a whim, stumble into a restaurant that wasn't on any list. That sense of discovery kept people moving through casinos and hotel lobbies for hours, spending money they never planned to spend. In 2026, that magic is functionally dead. Social media and review platforms have mapped every inch of the Strip before a visitor even boards their flight. People arrive with a minute-by-minute itinerary pulled from TikTok or Instagram Reels. They know exactly where to eat, what to skip, and which photo spots to hit. The result is a city that runs on pre-planned routes instead of spontaneous exploration. That means fewer impulse stops at casino floors, fewer random drink orders at hotel bars, and far less foot traffic in the corridors that connect it all. Hotels feel quieter not because rooms are empty, but because the human circulation that once made the Strip feel alive has evaporated. When nobody wanders anymore, the hallways go dark, and the buildings start to feel like something people pass through rather than something people experience. And while guests stopped wandering, something even bigger changed behind the scenes. Number 8, hotels became financial assets first, experiences second. Walk through certain stretches of the Strip today and something feels off. A wing of rooms roped off, a restaurant space sitting dark behind locked glass, a pool deck that should be packed but has half its furniture removed. This isn't neglect, it is strategy. Many Vegas properties are now managed primarily as financial instruments, not hospitality experiences. The metric that matters most is revenue per available square foot, not how a guest feels when they step into the lobby. That shift has real consequences. Staffing gets trimmed to protect margins. Entire floors stay closed because it is cheaper to leave them empty than to service them. Common areas that once buzzed with energy now sit quiet because maintaining them costs more than the foot traffic justifies. In 2025, hotel occupancy on the Strip dropped to around 80%, yet the city still holds the largest room inventory in the country. The math tells a clear story. Properties are choosing profit optimization over full buildings. And when your business model treats empty rooms as acceptable, the guest experience erodes from the inside out. A hotel that runs like a spreadsheet feels like one. You can sense it the moment you walk in. That cold, calculated silence, is not a vibe. It is a business decision, and guests are starting to notice. But the financial engineering inside existing buildings is only half the problem, because the real weight dragging down occupancy has been building literally for decades. Number 7. Vegas built too much for too long. For years, developers kept breaking ground on new towers using growth projections that assumed the post-pandemic travel boom would never slow down. Resort after resort expanded, adding thousands of rooms based on demand curves that peaked in 2023 and never came back. Las Vegas now carries over 150,000 hotel rooms spread across the metro area. That is the largest inventory in America and the second largest in the world. The problem is simple. Supply kept climbing while demand shifted in the other direction. In 2025, the city welcomed 38.5 million visitors, down from 41.5 million the year before, and well below the record of nearly 43 million set back in 2016. Even after closures like the Mirage and the Tropicana removed rooms from the market, the remaining inventory still overwhelms actual demand. Occupancy should have tightened with fewer rooms available. Instead, it fell. That imbalance is structural, not seasonal. It means that even during peak weekends and major events, there is always excess capacity diluting the numbers. The city overbuilt for a future that never fully arrived. And now those empty towers are not just an eyesore. They are a permanent drag on every occupancy report the Strip puts out. But empty rooms are only part of it. The real collapse started where Vegas used to make its money. Number 6, visitors no longer gamble like they used to. The old Vegas model was elegant in its simplicity. Offer cheap rooms, cheap food, and cheap entertainment, and make the real money on the casino floor. Gambling revenue subsidized everything else. It is why a $300 room could be sold for $99 and still turn a profit. That model is breaking apart. Millennials and Gen Z travelers now make up nearly half of the city's tourism base, and their relationship with gambling is fundamentally different. Industry data shows the average age of casino guests has dropped from 47 to just under 42. Younger visitors spend less at the tables and more on dining and experiences. Meanwhile, online sports betting has exploded across 34 states, giving people the thrill of a wager without ever leaving their couch. The 2024 U.S. online gambling market was worth nearly $13 billion and is growing close to 10% every year. When fewer guests gamble, the back-end revenue that once justified discount room rates disappears. Hotels can no longer afford to fill rooms cheaply because there is no casino floor windfall to make up the difference. So instead of lowering prices to attract volume, they raise them to survive on room revenue alone. That trade-off keeps rates high and floors empty. The subsidized fund that built this city's reputation has quietly been dismantled. And if casinos are losing their grip, something even bigger is stopping people before they ever book the trip. Number 5, digital entertainment replaced impulse travel. There was a time when Las Vegas held a near monopoly on sensory overload. If you wanted spectacle, stimulation, and the feeling that anything could happen, you had to go there. Nowhere else delivered that cocktail of energy. That monopoly is over. Today, the average person carries a portal to unlimited entertainment in their pocket. Streaming platforms serve up thousands of hours of content on demand. Video games offer immersive worlds that rival anything a Vegas show floor can provide. Social media delivers a constant feed of novelty and dopamine that never sleeps. This matters because Las Vegas was always more than a place. It was a feeling, the rush of escape, the promise of something unexpected. But when that feeling can be approximated from your living room, the urgency to physically be there fades. Casual visitors, the ones who used to fill midweek rooms and keep Saturday nights electric, are the first to drop off. They are the most price-sensitive, the most easily distracted, and the most likely to decide that staying home is good enough. Vegas still draws millions, but the spontaneous weekend warrior who once kept occupancy humming is becoming a relic. And when that traveler disappears, so does the pulse of the city. But even among people who still want to visit, another problem is quietly killing momentum. The story of Vegas itself has stopped moving forward. Number 4. The Vegas story stopped evolving. Every generation had its version of Las Vegas. The Rat Pack era made it cool. The mega resort boom of the 90s made it spectacular. The EDM nightlife explosion of the 2000s made it young again. Each reinvention gave people a new reason to come back, a new chapter to experience, a feeling that this city was always ahead of the curve. In 2026, that narrative engine has stalled. The last major cultural moment was the Sphere, and while it dazzled at launch, no broader reinvention followed. The Strip looks largely the same as it did 5 years ago. There is no dominant new trend pulling younger travelers in the way bottle service culture did a decade ago. Younger visitors especially are driven by cultural momentum. They flock to cities and experiences that feel like they are defining the moment. Right now, Vegas does not feel like that. It feels like a city coasting on reputation rather than building towards something new. And when the story stops evolving, demand does not crash overnight. It leaks slowly. People stop talking about Vegas with excitement. They stop posting about it with envy. The city fades from cultural conversation one skipped trip at a time. Without a new chapter, there is no urgency to visit. And without urgency, rooms sit empty. But if the narrative has gone stale, there is another force actively choosing emptiness over energy. And it is built into the technology running every hotel on the Strip. Number 3, pricing algorithms prioritize profit over full buildings. Here is something most visitors never realize. Those empty rooms are not always a failure. They are often a choice. Major Strip hotels now run sophisticated AI-driven pricing systems that adjust room rates thousands of times per day. These algorithms analyze booking, pace, competitor rates, event calendars, and dozens of other signals to find the price point that maximizes total revenue, not total occupancy. And more often than not, the math says it is better to sell fewer rooms at higher prices than to discount and fill the building. From a revenue management perspective, this works. Hotels using AI pricing tools report significant increases in revenue per available room, even as occupancy drops. The system is performing exactly as designed. But from a human perspective, the result is devastating. Towers lit up at night with dark windows. Casino floors with room to breathe when they should be, shoulder to shoulder. Pool decks with empty chairs on a Saturday afternoon. The algorithm does not care what the building feels like. It only cares what the spreadsheet says. And in 2025, average daily room rates on the Strip still hovered around $184. Even as occupancy slid to 80%, the machines chose margin over energy. This is intentional emptiness. And it might be the single most important reason Vegas feels hollow right now. The city is not failing to attract guests. It is choosing not to. But even when rooms are booked, something else is draining the life out of the Strip. Number 2, tourists spend more time inside their rooms. Even when hotels hit decent occupancy numbers, something still feels off. The hallways are quieter than they should be. Casino floors have open space between players. Restaurant lobbies that once required a 2-hour wait now seat you in minutes. The guests are here. They are just not out here. A fundamental shift in traveler behavior is reshaping what a full hotel actually looks like. Food delivery apps bring restaurant meals straight to the room. Every suite comes equipped with massive screens and streaming access. Many newer properties feature private balconies and upgraded in-room amenities designed to keep guests comfortable without ever leaving. The social element that once defined a Vegas trip, getting dressed up, heading down to the floor, bouncing between bars and tables and shows, is fading. People are cocooning. They check in, order room service, stream a movie, and call it a night. For the hotel, the room is technically occupied, but for the casino, the restaurant, the bar, and every common space in between, that guest might as well not exist. This inward shift means Vegas can post respectable occupancy numbers on paper while still feeling deserted in person. The bodies are in the building, but the energy is not in the room. And that brings us to the deepest reason of all, the one that explains why Vegas can still attract millions and feel like a ghost town at the same time. Number 1. Vegas was designed for human density. This is the thing nobody talks about, but it explains everything. Las Vegas was not built like other cities. It was engineered from the ground up to thrive on density. The narrow casino, corridors, the clustered restaurant rows, the deliberately winding paths from elevator to exit. Every square foot was designed to feel alive only when packed with people. The architecture assumes overlap, strangers brushing past each other at craps tables, lines snaking out of nightclubs, crowds pooling around street performers on the pedestrian bridges. That density was not a byproduct of success. It was the product itself. The energy of human compression is what made Vegas feel electric. And once that density fractures, the illusion collapses. Today, visitor patterns have fragmented in ways the city was never designed to handle. Stays are shorter, movements are targeted. People arrive for one event and skip the rest of the strip entirely. Groups that once overlapped across the same corridors now scatter across different schedules, different venues, different hours. The total visitor count might still reach tens of millions, but those visitors no longer stack on top of each other the way the city needs them to. Vegas does not decline gradually. It feels empty suddenly. One missing layer of foot traffic is all it takes for a bustling corridor to feel abandoned. One quiet Saturday night makes a hotel lobby feel haunted. The math might say the city is fine, but your eyes tell a different story. That is how a city can still attract 38 million visitors and still feel like a ghost town on a Saturday night. Vegas was not built to survive fragmentation. It was built to overflow. And until the overflow returns, the emptiness is not a bug. It is the architecture working in reverse.